Hey guys, welcome to Oni-chan's Manga Chest. I'm gonna go rapid fire with these reviews because I don't really have much to say about these two series, but hopefully you find something useful with my insight on both of them. We're gonna start off with good old Kurogane and Komi Can't Communicate. Now first with Kurogane, I didn't know nothing about, I knew everything about this manga several weeks before I spent money on it. So like, nah, I knew nothing. I'd never heard of Kurogane before. I just heard about it looking on an ANN article. And I was just like, whoa, that looks cool. It looks really cool. It looks like something from my childhood, a fever dream from my past. When I double checked, I realized that this was drawn by the same guy who drew Lament of the Lamb. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever seen Lament of the Lamb, ever heard of that type of series, but I'm telling you, this series is, man, it's all right. It's not the best sort of samurai series I've ever seen. I'm kind of jaded when it comes to samurai. I don't know what it is. Like, I've seen tons of movies. I've seen Ran. I've seen Kagemusha. I've seen freaking, what's the movie with the Yojimbo? You know, I've seen Akira Kurosawa samurai movies. I've seen freaking Zatoichi, but the series with the blind swordsman. I've seen Lone Wolf and Cub. I've seen Vagabond. I'm fully caught up. Yeah, you know, you gotta bring it up from the dead. I've seen Rurouni Kenshin, and I've seen a classic Blade of the Immortal, one of my favorite manga of all time. Samurai manga is pretty dope, right? But when you get a meh samurai series, it makes you want to read the yeah samurai series. Now, why is this a meh samurai series and not a yeah samurai series? Well, let's start off with the story. The story is about Jintetsu. Jintetsu, main boy, on the cover. He's pretty cool. He's a lot like, you know, Dororo. I forgot to mention Dororo. Back. Hyakimaru from this series, you know. Let me see if I can find a nice picture of Hyaki boy. Hyak boy. There he is. Hyakimaru, right? Prosthetic boy. Main character. He lost his body because of something. In this case, he lost his body because it got eaten by dogs because he was getting chased by the police. You know how we black people be running from the police. Apparently the Japanese be running from the police too. So, yeah, you know, he assassinated some politician guy. I don't remember his name. If you know about it, check in the description below. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna know about it because this is a super rare manga and I have access to it and you don't. But yeah, you know, they go after him, they kill him, you know. He's dying. He gets picked up by this, I don't know what he is. He's a scientist, an alchemist, you know. Oh, no. Don't get me started on Fullmetal Alchemist, guys. That's another video. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, he picks him up, gives him a new body, prosthetic body. Interesting. You know, it's pretty cool. It's less interesting in comparison to his talking sword. Let me see if I can find a shot of his talking sword. It's, I mean, I don't think they introduce him actually talking until like the end of this chapter. You know, you see the little eye right there. He talks. Great. That distinguishes him. I like Kurogane's character design. It's very cool. It's very iconic. You know, I can see this selling as toys if this were an anime adaptation, but I frankly don't see it becoming an anime adaptation. Why? Because the middle half of this volume is freaking boring. It's one of the most boring things I've ever read. It's so difficult because of the formatting of the panels is kind of weird. It's kind of hard to follow. And then the dialogue bubbles don't have the directional indentations so that you can figure out who's talking and when. Now, I have issues with grammar in my manga. Link in the description below. Please read Pursuit. I have issues with the grammar, but you can at least tell who's speaking, you know? At least, you know, I guess, but, you know, sometimes you can't tell. I mean, let me see if I can find a good example of what I mean when there's characters who are talking, you can't tell. This segment right up here is emblematic. Oh, no, not that one, not that one. Oh God, you're questioning my credibility right now, aren't you? You're just like, oh, he's complaining about something that doesn't actually exist in the manga. It is a problem. Don't get me wrong, it is a problem. Let's see here. Let's see. And these top 3 panels, yeah, top 3 panels. It's justifiable. See now, I have an argument. There you go. I win. Yeah. But yeah, that creates a situation where it's very difficult to read. But besides that, you know, the middle plot is pretty interesting and compelling. You got these underground shysters that are trying to delegitimize certain types of people, you know. You got the people who are being extorted for money for protection, apparently. But you know, really it's just a bunch of corrupt gangs that are running this town. And then the same town used to be Jintetsu's town. And previously, let me see if I can find the page, because I want to make sure I'm accurate about the story. You know, do I care about being accurate? Actually, maybe not, because I don't want to spoil it too much. You know, what's another really interesting thing about it? Oh God, I dropped it. I can't drop my manga, you know, it costs money. This cost me like $3. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty episodic. I like episodic storytelling. It gives you some time to flesh out some pretty interesting characters. In the second story, characters weren't all that compelling or interesting. In the third story, the villains were kind of similar to like good old Anotsu Kageisha. Anybody know about Anotsu Kageisha? Ever read Blade of the Immortal? Of course you haven't. You're uncultured swine. But yeah, Anotsu, he had this thing about, you know, the shogunate not having no teeth. And these guys have a problem with, you know, being really good at killing, but not being able to kill. So they're just like, oh, we should be allowed to kill and burn stuff down, you know. We should be able to burn down whatever town we in the town, you know. And it was pretty interesting seeing them sort of talk to Jintetsu, and Jintetsu has this sort of double consciousness of like having a side of him that's like a murderer, having a side of him that's a good guy, you know, good old Batosai, you know, Rurouni Kenshin, elements like that. But yeah, you know, it's not really treading on new ground for me. It's still good, still pretty fun. I highly recommend it. It's Kei Toume manga. Covers are really nice. Gonna buy more volumes, hopefully. Yeah. Next, we're gonna talk about Komi Can't Communicate. It's about a girl who can't talk. That's the end of this video. I'm just joking. y'all are funny. But yeah, this is a series about a girl named Komi who has a problem with talking to people. Can't really communicate. That's why it's called Komi Can't Communicate. It's redundant. It's very hard to do a review about a series that talks about what it is about in the title, because then you end up saying communicate or can't talk or someone who's autistic. I don't know. You end up having a hard time just saying things. You know, we got our main character guy, Tadano. Let me see if I can find a panel for him. You know, that's the defining trait of his character. He has that little white spot thing that's like a 5-leaf clover at the top of his head. It's really cool. He's got a crush on main girl Komi because this is a rom-com series. Of course, you have to have some sort of crush involved. Now, what's Komi's goal? Komi is trying to make 100 friends. You know, she wants to make those type of people, and Tadano's gonna help her make 100 friends, and they're all gonna live happily ever after. You know, but like I would say that there are like 3 major things I like about this manga, and I'm thinking about this off the top of my head. There's pretty good artwork. I really like the artwork. It's very adorable. I like cute artwork because it really brings this sort of sense of endearment to the characters. It is how their designs are, you know, like Komi's design. Pretty adorable. Look at that. They're so cute. It's such a cutie pie. And then you got little Tadano. And he's a little Tadano. And then you got other characters that look like little cuties. You know what I'm saying? And they're pretty nice to watch. Like you got absolutely not. But yeah, all the characters, they all just seem to worship Komi, and Komi really doesn't really do anything to warrant a worship, but you know, she just exists, and everybody's like, oh, you're the best human being in the world, you know. I find that the simple fact that they're gonna bend over backwards to like worship Komi is fun. I would have to say that I haven't read or watched a lot of rom-coms in a while. The last rom-com I remember sort of watching is His and Her Circumstances, and that's easily one of my favorite series of all time. And I've been watching Maison Ikoku lately in my weekly Let's Watches. Click link in the description below from a Discord server if you wanna be in those Let's Watches. Let's see, what other rom-coms have I watched? I mean, I've seen Urusei Yatsura, and I've seen Ranma 1/2, and those are pretty cool. I need to read more rom-coms, like for real. Like, I feel like I'm finding a new passion for this genre in this series. I would definitely give this manga a 7.5 out of 10. It's more like an 8 than a 7. But to be fair, I really like it. I like the artwork. I like the scenarios. I find some of the side characters to be very fun and engaging. Like there's this one trap character that's introduced and they're pretty funny. And I'm just like, oh, this is pretty lit. Oh, I can see myself reading this some more. I don't know if I'm gonna continue to buy it. Like if I were to like paint a picture of a scenario that happens in this manga, and you can go based off of your opinion of this scenario and whether or not you're gonna like it or not. So, trap character tells Komi to get extra character a thing of coffee, right? And they go to the coffee place and they're having a hard time talking, and it's like they nearly like freak out because of anxiety, and then they get the wrong coffee. They give it to Trap Girl. Trap Girl's like, oh, I hate this. We can't be friends anymore. And it's like a joke, right? It's apparently a joke. And I got a little chuckle out of that. It was pretty funny. I don't know if it'll be you guys' thing, but who knows? It may be. But yeah, what do you guys think about these two titles? Have you read it before? Have you not read it before? This is a good old 6.5. It's all right. Not bad. Might read more. Probably not going to buy more, so throw that out there. This one is a 7.5. It's pretty good. No, it's better than pretty good. It's one of the funner series I've read in a long time. Definitely going to reread this volume a couple more times. May read the rest online. Can't read this online, so probably going to drop it. Can't read this online. Going to read more. Yeah. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.